不懂的英文一定要就是希望能够中文的，就一个两个。大部分都可以听英文哈，我是想如果讲英文就比较快，就比较省时间。如果要翻译就时间就比较长一点。但是呢，我的翻译者现在很棒的，他可以翻译，所以我还是需要翻译啦，没办法。So we'll try our best to keep this within an hour. But thank you for coming. Really appreciate you coming today.
谢谢大家来今天参加这个健康讲座。我们大概希望能够保持在1个小时之内完成。
So just a reminder, we meet every other week. Okay, so today we meet. We don't meet next week, but we meet the week after. So as you see, the schedule on top is August 13 all the way to November 12, right?
所以在这里提醒一下呢，就是我们那个聚会呢。是每隔1周有举行的，所以这个礼拜有一次，然后下个礼拜就没有，然后再下个礼拜我们就再另外一次，一直到11月12号。
So they're all together 8 sessions.
一共是8个 session.
Every session is a different topic.
我们讲的那个就不同的那个题目。
So myself and Dr. Chok will be alternating. We'll be taking half an hour each, but today I'll be taking the whole hour because on August 27 I will not be here. So I'm going to do a whole hour, and August 27 he's going to do the whole hour.
基本上是这样的，这洪博士呢，他去主持这个健康讲座的，我是做陪衬的然后就
我没有讲这个，就他自己讲的。
因为今天呢，他比较他在下期呢他比较忙，所以他不能来，所以呢今天呢他本来是我们一半一半的，然后就他今天呢就讲节课，然后再下一期呢是我做讲节课。
Yeah. So our overall topic, right? Our theme is on God's blueprint for health and longevity. So I want to pay attention to not just living long, longevity, but you want to be healthy, right? When you want to live long, you don't want to live long and not healthy. So the focus is on both how to live long and how to also be healthy according to God's plan. That's why we call it God's blueprint.
所以呢，这个我们讲的主题呢，就是上帝一个健康的蓝图但是我们讲的不是关于长寿，但是还要是健康的长寿。所以呢，我们也是说到那个上帝的那个蓝图。
Yeah. So we want to keep that in mind. What does the Bible say? What does God want you and me? How does He want us to live so that we can be healthy? At the same time, we can live long.
所以呢，我们就记住呢，我们是讲的，就是说圣经里面关于健康的那个原则哈。
Yeah. So the first thing I want to show you a graph, and I want you to tell me what happened to our human lifespan.
现在我想给你看看那个图哈，那个图片然后看看我们那个人类的那个寿命到底是什么回事哈？怎么回事？
If you can see this graph, you can see the graph has a big dip, right? This is the history of mankind.
这个是人类的历史，你看到那个人的寿命的那个寿命突然间就掉下去的。
Right. So in the beginning, Adam he lived up to 930 years old, very long life.
起初的时候，那个亚当呢，他活了930岁。
And then his children, Seth 912, Enoch 905, and then Methuselah, right? We all know he is the oldest, right? The longest, has the longest life. He lived till 969 years old.
我们可以看到呢，亚当的那个儿子他活到910岁，然后905岁，然后那个马土沙拉呢，他都活得最长的时间就是969岁。
And then you look at Noah. Noah, just before the flood, he lived up to 950 years.
你看挪亚呢，挪亚在那个洪水之前呢，他也活到950岁。
And what happened after the flood?
然后那个什么事情发生了？那个洪水之后发生了什么事情呢？
哇，寿命短了哈！突然间你看到 drop 这么，好像做那个 那个叫什么哈？我们的 Disneyland 有那个叫什么
？Roller coaster。
Right. Whoa, roller coaster, right? 突然间加得很厉害，对不对？
So you can see that there's a big difference, a big drop in the longevity after the flood.
So from 950, and then Noah's great grandchildren, they look at this 205for Terah, right?
你看到那个挪亚的那个孙子啊，他突然间掉到了205岁。
And then you can see up to Solomon,
到
he's only
所罗门的
58 years old.
到所罗门的时候，他只活了58岁。
Okay, and of course, as you continue you look at the history of mankind. When you look at King Henry, we know King Henry has a lot, Henry I, Henry II, Henry III. But you look at King Henry V, he only lived to 35 years old.
你可以看到那个亨利王帝第5世哈，他只有35岁。
And there was a time when medicine wasn't really advanced yet, so a lot of people die because of infectious disease. There's no medicine to treat them.
所以当时候那个医学并不发达，很多人都是那个传染病而死的。
But then with the advance of medicine, drugs, pharmaceutical, intervention, our lifespan has improved. As you can see, since Henry V, it's gone up to about 80 years old.
由于那个医学的慢慢的发达呢，那个药物的发展呢，那个乔治第3世呢，他活了82岁。
So the average lifespan in America, do you know what is our average lifespan?
现在我们那个平均寿命是多少？在美国？
80? Yeah, it's about 80 to 85, right?
大概是80到85岁。
So, but if you compare to Noah's time, there's a big drop, right?
但是你跟那个挪亚的时候是相比的话，还是一个很大的落差。
So a lot of people say, "Oh no, medicine help us extend our life." Yes, if you compare to King Henry V, yes, our lifespan has been expanded from 35 years old to 80. But if you compare to Noah, compare to Adam, our lifespan has been shortened a lot.
虽然呢说那个我们医疗的发达呢，让我们人类的一个寿命增长，但是我们可以看到呢，我们那个寿命还是很短的。
So what happened? What do you think? What do you think are some of the reasons why our life has been shortened so much?
你可以猜一猜，到底发生什么事情，什么原因，我们的寿命慢慢的减短呢？
What happened before and after the flood? What happened?
到底发生了什么事情呢？在那个洪水之前跟洪水之后，到底是发生了什么事情呢
？Yeah， 食物的改变怎么样改呢？什么改变啊？
有人说是那个我们的 is change in our diet.
Yeah，what change? What change in the diet?
到底我们的食物有什么改变呢？
吃肉了，你知道吗？然后 very good because after the flood, all the plants were dead, right? All the plants were drowned in water. They're all dead. But what did Noah bring to the ark?
Okay, so
animal.
让我翻译一下。
翻译，对不起。
那到底那个洪水之前跟洪水之后什么事情呢？因为就很多人都是说 ，Am I speaking English? I'm supposed to speak. Okay, many people say that after the flood we start eating meat. So what happened?
你要翻译中文呐？你要翻译中文。
搞错。
我讲英文呐。
不好意思。到底呢，我们那个洪水之前跟洪水之后发生了什么事情呢？这很多人就说，这是因为我们开始吃肉了。你看看那个挪亚的时候，洪水那个方舟啊，挪亚的带进那个方舟带进去什么东西呢？
动物。
都是动物
So what happened was after the flood, there is no other thing to eat except animal because this is what Noah brought to the ark, right? So they have, for a period of time, people had no vegetables and fruits to eat because they're all dead.
So you can see.
Chinese.
不好意思哈。所以呢，洪水之后呢，因为带进去的都是动物所以呢，那个就没有什么很多植物可以吃。所以呢，洪水之后呢，他们就开始吃肉了。
So there are a lot of reasons why our life has been shortened. You are right. Number one is diet change because our diet now has meat. We introduce meat into our diet.
所以你看到呢，那个最重要的那个问题就是吃肉。
Yeah. Right. So I put down number one, meat is the biggest introduction, the biggest difference between before and after flood.
所以呢，我们说那个其中最大的原因，我们为什么说的呢？主要是因为我们开始吃肉。
And the second one is our food has become very processed.
还有呢，我们的食物呢，很多是加工的食物。
对啊 ，right. But of course, lifestyle, there are a lot of reasons why our life is so shortened compared to Noah's time, right? Our life become very sedentary more and more. We sit down a lot.
甚至还有呢，另外一些就是跟我们那个生活习惯、那个生活那个状况有关系的，就是跟我们的平常少运动的缘故。
对 ，right? And our life become very fast, more and more fast-paced with computer, with all kinds of technology. We become very fast-paced. We are stressed out, right? Because we work more, and because all this computer, all the gadget, we have our opportunity to have human contact has become less and less, right? Because you spend a lot of time looking at technology.
所以你们看到了，我们的生活节奏越来越快，还有呢越来越紧张啊，那个压力也比较大，还有呢跟我们那个睡觉也不够。
睡觉也不够，而且很多压力，而且那个电脑太多了，看我们的生活。All life is centered around technology, right? We don't interact with people.
还有呢，我们呢常常用的电脑啊，跟我们用那个科技的那个东西呢，我们在生活上面都用了很多，所以影响到我们那个生活那个健康。
But today I don't have time to look at all this. Today I just want to have time to look at one diet alone because we only have, this is session number 1. We have 8 more sessions, right? So keep coming. I'll tell you more.
今天呢，我们没办法去每一个都讲一遍，所以今天我们就集中在那个关于饮食上面的那个问题。
But I want to tell you, because of our diet, we suffer what I call chronic diseases, 慢性的。
所以是因为我们的食物，所以我们很多疾病都是慢性的疾病。
So our life may be extended because of medicine, right? We live up to 80, 85, but our life, the quality of life is no good because even though we live longer, but we are sicker because of the chronic diseases.
很多时候呢，我们虽然说我们那个生命可以延长了，因为我们那个药物那个医学，但是呢，我们那个质量就没有真的好的增加。
So when I say chronic diseases, what I meant is not COVID, okay? COVID is not chronic. What I mean is diabetes, hypertension, cancer. These are the diseases that we can still live. We don't die right away, but we have to live with this disease for a long time. That's why it's called chronic.
所以我所指的那个慢性病，并不是指那个，比如说那个新冠病毒新冠肺炎那些，我指的是那些高血压胆固醇高还有那个糖尿病之类的
So they kill you slowly. I say they kill you slowly but surely.
So 不好意思这些呢，我们都是慢性疾病呢，它慢慢把你杀掉的。其实我们说呢，我们叫 silent killer 就是这些。
So and because you have to live with it, you have to take a lot of medications, right? So in medical we call it comorbidities. That means it's not just diabetes anymore. It's hypertension, it's high cholesterol. So you have a lot of medication to take.
所以呢，我们要活得比较好一点呢，就吃很多药去控制这些疾病。
So the medical cost is very high. So you may be living longer, but you're spending more on medicine.
虽然你活得很长时间，但是呢，你的医疗费用也是很高的。
Do you know in America, 7 in 10 in America, right? Our death is due to chronic diseases. 7 out of 10.
在美国呢，大概10个人里面有7个人都是因为慢性病而死的。
Right? And here are some more statistics. I don't mean to scare you, but this is the truth. Half of the death, right, that we experience in our country are due to heart disease, cancer, and stroke. These 3 combined.
这里我还有多一些统计数据在美国呢，有50%， 50%呢，他们死的原因呢，都是跟那个新冠病毒心脏病、新冠病、心脏病有关系，还有那个癌症跟那个中风。
So we don't have a lot of time, but I just want to bring out to you, heart disease, cancer, and stroke, they all have one common denominator, and that has to do with diet.
所以我们看到那些病呢，都是同一个原因的，就是跟我们的那个饮食有关系的。
And 65 years or older, people who are in 65 years and older, 80% of us, right, among the seniors, have at least one chronic disease.
在美国呢，65岁以上的最少有80%，大概80%呢，都有一些慢性病的。
So it has to do with a lot to do with our lifestyle.
所以这些都是跟我们那个生活的模式有关系的。
So I just want to give you these are the diseases we call it chronic because, like I said, remember chronic is a disease don't kill you right away, but you live with it for a long time, and this is the leading cause of not just death but healthcare cost.
这一些呢，我们叫慢性病，不单仅呢它影响你的寿命，也影响到你的那个生活水平生活质量。
Yeah, very expensive disease.
还有呢，它那个医疗的费用也是挺贵的。
So I have one session that I'll talk about Alzheimer. Very interesting. It has to do with diet, but I'm telling you all this because I want you to keep coming back, okay? Alzheimer is one of them. They have discovered has to do with diet a lot.
其中一个呢，跟那个Alzheimer 是叫什么？那个老人痴呆症跟那个食物其实是很大的关联我有一节课呢，专门是讲这个的。
对 ，all right. So how do we avoid this? Because when God created Adam and Eve, right? I don't think God wants us to live our life and struggle with this and suffer with all these sicknesses at the same time keep spending money. I don't think that's God's plan.
我相信呢，不是上帝的旨意呢，要我们去受这一些那个慢性病的痛苦的也不是需要花很多钱去治疗一些病的。
All right. So this is a projection in the U.S. The prevalence of chronic disease. Can you see every year is going up? How many million? They projected by 2030, which is not far from now, right? 10 years from now, there will be 171 million in America that will suffer from chronic diseases.
这个呢是那个预测在那个美国那个预测那个慢性病的那个有多少人去有一个病的
Yeah. Okay. So 117. There's a lot. Well, doctors will be very busy treating chronic diseases.
几多万啊
117
million 1700万
Wow, there's a lot of people, right, in America. So let's talk about what are the issues. When we talk about diet, how would diet contribute to so much problem and so much suffering?
那我们看看到底那个食物怎么去影响到我们的健康呢？
So what's wrong with we call it the American diet?
我们所谓的那个美国那个饮食美国式的饮食。
Anyone of us eat some of this food, maybe?
有没有人吃过这些东西
Okay, you don't have to raise your hand. It's okay.
不
I
要举手
understand.
不需要举手。
I hope this is not something you eat every day. Once in a while, maybe, but I hope it's not every day or 3 times a week. That's already too much. I hope it's not too frequently.
希望你们没有常常吃这个东西如果偶然去吃
偶尔没关系
也许可以。
久一次 holiday, birthday, not every day.
不是每天要吃这个东西
But do you know there are people, I know of people that actually eat this kind of food every day. Lunchtime, they will go and buy McDonald's, pizza, Taco Bell.
但是我知道有一些人呢是每天都是吃这个东西的。
So what's wrong with this diet?
这个饮食到底有什么问题呢？
Okay, number 1 is too much meat. I'm sorry, this is I kind of skip. It's too much meat. 太多肉了。
太多肉First of all, it's too much meat.
Yeah. Second, too much salt, right? You agree?
还有呢，就是很多盐，
Very,
盐分太
very
高。
salty. That's something that I learned when I come to America. Everything is so salty. 很咸
在美国呢，很多东西都很咸的。
And number 3, too much fat. You agree?
还有呢，还多脂肪
You go and take your French fry, right? You squeeze it, it's all oil. Your
如果
pizza,
你
you
买
squeeze it, your hands all oil.
如果你买那个薯条的话，你用那个油，用那个纸巾压一下，你就可以看到很多油的，对吧？
Yeah, you eat your fried chicken. Everything is oil, dipped in oil.
还有那个炸鸡也是很多油的。
And the fourth one is there is no fiber. If there is, it's so little.
其实另外一个最大的问题就是没有那个纤维植物的纤维。
Because if you can see, the food here is highly processed.
你可以看到呢，这里的食物呢都是加工的很多的。
Do you know how you can tell if this food is very processed? Do you know how you tell?
那你怎么可以知道那个食物是加工的呢？
It's very smooth, and you can swallow and can eat a lot because it's so smooth. It go down your throat very easily.
所以你吃的时候呢，很 smooth 很滑的那个滑进去的。
Yeah, 你会吃很多。你看，如果你吃钠，你可以吃多吗？不行哦，那你要牙齿，没有牙齿不能吃那个就不是 process 了。See, you can tell.
所以呢，你看到那个食物很容易可以吞进去的，那个就很多时候是还有那个加工的很多的。
加工的So the more 加工 the more processed, the more nutrient you lose.
加工越多的这个食物呢，它那个营养分呢也流失很多。
That's why it becomes so smooth because at the end it's all glucose, it's all a sugar molecule.
所以它加工以后很多生下来都是那个糖分所以吃起来很 smooth 很那个滑的。
Yeah, you 吃下去肚子就马上absorb 了，很快就 absorb.
So 当你吃了以后呢，它那个养分呢，所以那个糖分呢，很快就可以吸收了。
所以你想一下，像果条很滑我们 Chinese 很喜欢吃果条面，你要小心，这些都是很 highly processed food.
So if you like jellos and the noodles, it's very smooth and you can just digest it fast.
But there's a trick to make it less. So I'm going to tell you today how to make it less processed, okay?
但是我们也可以学习到怎么把它弄成不是太多加工的。
Okay, so that you can still enjoy your noodle because we are Chinese, we like noodle, right?
所以呢，因比如说我们的中国人都是喜欢面条嘛。
Okay, so beside this, what do Americans eat?
所以我们看看那个美国人是吃什么东西呢
？Because after we eat our hamburger or pizza, it's not over yet. We have dessert, right? Americans love dessert.
美国人也喜欢吃那个甜品
So these are the popular American desserts.
这些都是美国人很受欢迎的那种甜品。
I'm not going to lie to you. I love them too. Sometimes I eat them.
我不会撒谎，其实我也喜欢这些东西。
So not only we have too much meat, too much salt, too much fat, we also eat too much sugar.
所以呢，我们不单是吃了很多那个肉，很多脂肪，但是我们还吃了很多糖。
So I will have one session just talk about sugar. You must come to my session, okay?
所以他有一节课呢，特别是讲那个糖的。
Yeah, everything about sugar.
所以整节课呢都是讲关于糖的。
So that's why we call American diet a SAD diet, S-A-D. Yeah, 怎么样翻译？ Standard American diet is S-A-D.
怎么说呢？这个就是美国的那个饮食呢，我们叫一个 SAD diet 就是一个
标准的美国食物。
标准的美国食物就是那个 SAD diet，
就是很伤心、
很悲惨的，
很悲惨的，对不对？
悲惨的 diet。
Yeah, because if you eat this every day or very frequently, chances are you're going to get either diabetes, heart disease, stroke, all these chronic diseases.
所以呢，
very high chance.
所以如果你是每天都是吃这些东西的话，这个你有那个心脏病那个中风或者是高血压呢，你的几率是非常非常大的。
Right. So, like I said, these are the standard American diet and also standard American diseases. They're all SAD, S-A-D, standard American diseases.
所以你看到了那个标准的美国的那个饮食，也有一个美国标准的那个病痛。
Yeah. So these are very classic, and one of the reasons I want to take you. Pay your focus is today. I want to look at our gastrointestinal tract. We call it GI tract.
所以今天我特别想讲的，就讲到我们消化系统。
Because everything we eat has to be digested, correct?
所以我们所有的那个食物，我们要吃的东西，我们都需要这个消化。
Yeah. Because there are two places in your body that where the food goes in and out. One goes in and one go out, right?
我们所有这个食物呢，都有一个地方进去，还有一个地方出来的。
我这里有一个医生，所以他可以帮我。It's okay, you can translate very well. 用手。So whatever you eat, you have to come out. I always tell people, you don't want it to stay here, right? Do you? No, you want it to come out, right?
食物你吃完东西以后，你不想它就留在你身体嘛？
So I'm glad I'm talking to you after lunch, so it's good. Because I'm going to show you some very scary picture.
你们都吃饱饭了，所以现在讲是比较合适哈。
So if we look at our GI tract, English we call it gastrointestinal tract, or call it the 消化系统，对不对？
消化道呀。
Now we start from the mouth, we go to the esophagus, stomach, pancreas. All these are important organs to digest our food. And finally, you go to the intestinal tract, and finally you go to anus to go out. When we do our business in the morning, right?
所以你看到我们那个消化道的话呢，你从那个口经过那个食道、胃，然后呢小肠、大肠，然后就从肛门出来。
Now I want to remind everybody, we all share the same thing. God created everybody the same. We all have the same thing, okay? Whether you are old or young, we all have the same GI tract.
上帝在我们都是一样的哈，所以不管你是谁，你的消化道基本上都是这样的了。
And do you know that our intestinal tract very long? The small one, as you can see, where's the light here? The light, oh, this one? Anyway, yeah, this small intestine, right, is about 20 to 23 feet long.
你看看我们的消化道那个小肠啊，小肠大概是20到23尺。
Okay, so the large one, we call it the colon, is about 5 feet long.
最后讲到那个大肠呢，大概是5、7长。
I'm 5'1", 5 feet 1, so just like me. So imagine I'm the colon, you squeeze me, and you put me inside here, just just the colon. Okay?
你看看我是5尺1寸高哈，你看看我整个肠道那个高度，你把它弯起来就塞在那个大肠这边。
你塞进去这边then you got to think, there are 4 of me, right? If I'm 5 feet, that means there are 4 of me. You're going to squeeze me all here.
如果你把它那个高度来算的话，大概4到5个它，把它弯着卷着就放在那个肚子里面。
So I want you to look at our tummy now. Can you feel your rib cage? Everybody, can you
现
feel
在我
your
们
rib
看看
cage?
我们那个肠哈，有没有看到你那个肋骨的那个地方？
对 ，So it's somewhere between your rib cage to your pelvic bone, huh?
你可以
It's
看到
not very big, right? How many inches? It's about maybe what?
大概是从那个肋骨哈，一直到那个这一边
Hip bone
大概
一尺，one foot long, maybe 6 inches. I don't know,
大概
8 inches.
是1尺吧。
一尺。Imagine there are 6 of me squeeze here.
你看看大概是6个我这样高度的那个长度是塞在那个地方。
So I want to tell you today, every time you eat something, remember whatever food you eat, whether it's a piece of chicken or bowl of noodle or a piece of cake, your body needs to break it down and your body needs to move them first through all this, and then when it comes to here, it has to move through all this convoluted path and finally to the colon and finally out through the rectum.
所以你看看，想象一下，如果你要吃一块鸡哈，一个鸡腿它要经过很长很长的地方才出来的。
So it's a very long and winding path, right? Very long and winding.
所以你看到那个路是非常长，还是呢弯弯曲曲的。
It's not one straight path, so it's a very long journey.
所以不是一条直的那个长跑出来的，
So
它的路是非常弯弯曲曲的。
对 How much time on the average does digestion take? How average? How long? Do you know?
平均时间我们消化这个食物大概是多长时间呢？
非常好 ，very good. 4 to 6.
4到6个小时哈。泡面就不一样了。
That's why we space our breakfast, lunch, and dinner to 4 to 6, right? Because that's about time the food is finally digested, and then our stomach is empty. We feel hungry.
你看到呢？大概我们这个消化是需要4到6个小时，然后过了去了以后，我们就觉得肚子又饿了。
So we recommend that you eat not more than 3 meals a day, right?
所以我们就提议你不要吃到多过三餐。
Maybe some people go for 2 meals is good, but we don't recommend that you eat every 2 hours.
但是我们有些人吃两顿饭呢，一天吃2顿饭，但是我们不提倡呢，你去每2个小时就吃东西。
We know some people do that; they eat all day long, right?
我们也知道有一些人呢是一天到晚都是在吃的。
So remember, every time you eat, you are forcing your GI system, your digestive system to work.
每一次你吃东西之后，你就强迫你那个消化道去工作。
So 4 to 6 hours is a good time. Think about it.
所以4到6个小时就差不多了非常好的。
Here's one question.
但是我有一个问题。
So if food takes about average 4 to 6, but it depends. Meat take longer, okay? Meat can take all the way to 10 hours. Okay.
所以你说这个是平均数
4到6。
4到6个小时，但是你吃肉的话呢，这个时间可能更长了。
So if food takes such a long time, if you eat your dinner at 7 p.m. and if you go to sleep at 10, what do you think happened?
如果你晚上是7点钟吃的，然后呢睡觉时10点钟就睡觉了，你觉得会有什么事情发生呢
？painful 很胀。还有嘞？What else might happen? What else might happen? 睡不着，太饱了。
You cannot sleep
True, right? 肚子食物还没有消化完，还在这边，还在 stomach， 还没有到large intestine。
所以你看到那个食物还没消化完呢，还没到那个大肠呢，你就睡不着。
Do you know a lot of statistically, okay, a lot of heart attack happened after a heavy dinner.
你知道吗？那个统计上面说呢，很多那个心脏病发呢，都是在那个吃完那个一大顿那个大餐之后的。
Because the food is not yet digested, and your body is busy digesting it. When your body is busy, your body needs a lot of blood. And because of that, there's not enough blood to go to your to your heart. So there's compromised supply of blood, and which is why the risk of heart attack is higher after a heavy meal at night.
因为你那个吃东西的时候，大量的血要跑到那个肠胃里面，那个血液供应到那个心脏不太够，所以很多时候呢，都有心脏病，所以很多那个心脏病发呢，都是在晚上发生的。
So remember, food takes a long time to get digested.
我们要记住的，这个食物呢，需要一段比较长的时间去消化的。
Because this is so winding, do you think the chances of food get stuck is very high here?
你觉得那个食物因为一条路是弯弯曲曲的，你会觉得那个食物在停在那边或者堵在那边，这个可能性大吗？
You know, our body can experience traffic jam too.
你觉得其实我们的消化道呢，也有可能那个交通堵塞的。
交通阻塞 because the food when it travel here, if it gets stuck, it will not get digested. So the food will stay there for a long time beyond the 6 hours.
有些时候那个食物堵在那边呢，可能停了超过6个小时。
It's just like traffic, right? When
就
it's
好
too
像那个
much,
交通一样。
it will get stuck.
那个食物可能就停在那边。
What happened when the food gets stuck in your intestine, whether it's small or large? What
如果
happened?
食物堵在那个肠子里面，会有什么事情发生呢？
不好消化，不舒服。
indigestion 不好消化。
Indigestion, you get constipation.
还有那个便秘。
Right? You have hard time. Your bowel movement is very hard and very, very painful.
还有呢，你的那个大便的时候呢，会很疼很不舒服。
Right? And so these are some of the symptoms because of what kind of food you eat.
所以呢，我们吃什么东西出来的效果后果就跟我们吃的东西有关系了。
You don't want a situation where all the digested food, which is in the form of feces, stuck in your large colon.
所以你不想那个消化你的大便堵在那个大肠里面。
And what happened is a lot of times the spot where the what do you call it, the food that's the digested food that's not be able to expel, typically all happen in the large colon.
有些时候那个要排便的话比较困难的话，那些大便呢会堵在那个大肠里面。
Which is why colon cancer is the number 2 leading cancer in America. Number 2, the first one is lung cancer.
所以说呢，在美国呢，这个大肠癌呢是那个第2大的那个癌症。第一大就是那个肺癌了。
对 ，Of course, for women, breast cancer will be the second. For men, prostate cancer. But in general, colon cancer is number 2 after lung cancer.
所以一般来说呢，大肠癌就是在那个肺癌之后的一个。
So tell me, what are some of the reasons why our digestive system is contribute to colon cancer? What's wrong with our diet? What part of diet that contribute to that? What do you think?
那到底那个在我们那个食物里面有什么是令我们很容易得那个肠癌呢？
What makes our food not able to move through this GI tract? What make our GI tract get stuck?
为什么那个食物那个大便会停在那个我们那个大肠里面呢
？No fiber, right?
主要的问题就是我们没有植物的纤维素。
Okay, tell me what is fiber?
跟我
we use that a lot, right? What is fiber?
告诉我那个到底一个植物的纤维是什么东西呢？
对 ，fiber is the only ingredient, right, that will not be digested by our digestive system. Whatever you eat, it stay the same. It will not get broken down. It will not get chopped up. It will not get cut. It will stay the same. This is fiber.
植物的纤维呢是在我们那个消化道里面不被消化的一种东西。
Okay, And which is very good because you want it to be like that because fiber, because it's undigested, it adds bulk to your stool.
所以这些没有消化的那个纤维素，就令到那个大便呢就变得比较
it
大
makes
一
your
点。
stool big, but it makes your stool smooth.
还有呢，不知道关系大一点，还有呢更那个滑一点。
对 which is how you help you to move through your 20 feet long GI tract plus 5 feet long colon. You
所以
understand?
所以呢，那个纤维素呢，不光是令它大一点，然后它在那个肠里蠕动呢，也蠕动得更好。
So the only thing that help your food move through 25 feet long is the fiber. You need fiber to help your food move.
所以要那个食物在肠里面蠕动的话，你需要那个纤维素啊。
So like I said, colon cancer is number 2, right? It's 1 in 20 of Americans would have the risk of getting colon cancer.
所以我们刚才说那个大肠癌是那个第2大的那个癌症啊，这个差不多是20人中有1个是有那个癌症
So
所以有
fiber
风
is the
险。
number 1 reason why colon cancer is at such high prevalence.
所以第一个
Fiber, lack of fiber.
那个没有纤维素，不够纤维素呢，是对我们那个肠癌的风险增加的原因之一。
And also food that is very high in red meat.
还有呢，红肉的在那个我们的食物里面很多红肉的也是一个问
Now
题。
let me tell you, fiber can only be found where? Where can we find fiber?
纤维素是在哪里可以找到呢？
Only in plant, only 植物 okay?
只能在植物里面找到哈。
Meat has no fiber.
那个肉类呢没有植物的纤维。
Totally zero. So if you eat a piece of chicken, you see the fiber. That kind of fiber is different from this kind of fiber. Okay, that's a muscle fiber.
我们吃那个鸡肉的时候，我们看到有一条条细的那种纤维呢，不是那个植物的纤维哈。
So remember, only fiber found in plant will help our colon health. Only fiber in plant.
只有这个植物的那个纤维素才能帮助我们那个大肠的健康。
So of course there are other reasons for colon cancer: smoking, overweight, your age, as well as family history. These are other things.
当然呢，有其他原因可以引导我们令到我们增加我们那个大肠癌的风险，都包括那个吸烟啊、年纪大了，还有那个家庭那个历史也会有影响的。
Right. But fiber is the only thing, like I said. Oops. How do we know we have enough fiber? Your bowel movement.
我们怎么知道我们吃够的那个纤维素呢？就是我们那个大便那个次数了。
Right. We have to have regular. You know, doctors always ask, right? Are you regular in your bowel movement? This is a very, very medical, legitimate question to ask.
很多医生都说，都会问你的那个大便正常吗？
Yeah. Because if you don't, that means you're sick. If your GI tract is sick, your whole body gets sick.
就是说那个如果你的大肠不正常的话，那就很容易就生病了。
Right. So you have to regular, and like I said just now, if the way to know whether you eat enough fiber, your stool has to be bulky but smooth.
所以那个大便需要一个比较大一点、比较滑一点。
And you should not take too long.
也不
Don't
需要
stay too long in the toilet.
也不需要很长时间去排便哈。
Right. So if you eat this kind of food, like I said, just now I asked, where can we find fiber? It's all in the plant kingdom.
在什么地方我们可以找到那个纤维素呢？其实基本上就是在植物的
Yeah, I know
植
many
物
of
食物
you
我们就可以找
will
到了。
right. Many of you will associate fiber with fruits and vegetables, which is correct. But there are other sources of food that we can find fiber.
其实我们很多时候想到那个纤维素的时候是想到水果啊、蔬菜啊，但是在其他的那个植物的，比如说豆类啊、硬壳果啊，都有很多纤维素的。
So whole grain, anything that's less processed. Remember, I told you once more and more processed, more thing is lost, right? More nutrient is lost, including fiber. So you want to look for food that is less processed.
所以呢，我们也找那个食物，越是加工的食物，它那个流失那个营养分就越多。所以呢，我们要找一些食物呢，就是越少加工的越好。
对。And do you know nuts has lots of fiber?
你知道那硬壳果，它里面很多那个纤维素的。
That's why when we eat nuts, we cannot eat fast because you got to chew it. There's lots of fiber inside.
所以呢，我们吃那硬壳果的时候，我们不能吃太快，因为我们不要咬碎哈。
And all kinds of beans.
还有那个豆类哈，
All kinds, include soybean.
包括我们那个大黄豆哈。
And beans and nuts, not only they are rich in fiber, they are also rich in protein.
所以豆类呢，它不单是那个很多这个纤维素，还有很多蛋白质。
So we don't need a lot of protein unless you're a little baby growing up. All of us here are no more babies, so we don't need a lot of protein.
其实呢，我们不需要很多那个蛋白质，除非你的小 baby 哈，小婴孩，他要在成长和建那个身体的时候，他才需要很多那个
So
蛋
you
白质。
can get good quality protein from beans, and at the same time you get a fiber and a lot of nutrient.
所以你要找那个蛋白质，在那个豆类里面已经很多蛋白质的了。
So make sure our food every day when we eat has some of this, if not all, at least some. 3 meals a day, we got to make sure we have one of this or all of this.
所以每天我们的食物每一餐呢，都希望你有这里的里面的其中一种，最少最少其中一种。
So if you eat like this, you can be sure that you don't have problem going to the toilet, and you have to be sure that your cholesterol will be low.
所以呢，如果你这样吃那些食物的话，你就不需要担心你的那个大便不畅通。
还有你的胆固醇。
你的胆固醇呢，
Yeah.
还会有帮助的。
So I'm going to tell you a very simple example. Fiber has the ability. Fiber is so unique. Okay. The more I learn about fiber, the more I'm fascinated why God wants us to eat plant. Because one of the features about fiber is that it actually, when you eat them, remember I told you fiber you cannot chop it down, you cannot digest. One of the things that he does is that it traps the LDL, the bad cholesterol, and then when you go into your bowel movement, it actually help the fiber actually trap it and excrete it out through your stool.
其实那个纤维素它有另外一个重要的作用呢，就是它会把你这个坏的胆固醇留着在肠子里面，然后排出来的。
Yeah. So if you think you have high cholesterol, go for plant food because plant food has fiber. It helps you to bring down cholesterol.
如果你觉得你是有这个高胆固醇的话呢，你最好就多吃那个植物的食物。
Okay, so now I know the next question is how do I eat to make sure I have fiber? Do I eat beans all the time? Do I fill up my plate? I'm going to show you a simple way to eat it.
所以如果我们要吃那个比较合适的食物，我们怎么去安排我们的饮食呢？
Okay.
现在我们看看那个
I'm going to make it very simple. I know sometimes dietitians make things very complicated. It's not complicated because when God created us, God gave us a very simple meal plan.
其实呢，我们去安排我们的饮食的时候，不需要很复杂的。
对。
因为很多时候呢，那个营养师呢，他们都讲得很复杂的所以我现在讲一个比较简单的或者是更容易去安排的那个食物。
Very simple. Every time you eat, you think of a plate. You need to fill up your plate, right? Whether it's 6-inch or 8-inch or 10-inch, anytime is think of a plate.
所以呢，每一次你要安排食物的时候，你看到一个盘子然后不管是5寸啊、10寸啊、20寸啊，像我的50寸啊都可以。
Just make sure you fill up the plate. Half the plate has to be fruits or vegetables. Okay?
记住呢，就是半个盘子呢，需要那个水果跟那个蔬菜。
The best is vegetable.
最好是蔬菜。
Your favorite vegetable, any kind of vegetable, has to be half of the plate.
什么蔬菜都可以最少一半。
And then 1/4 is for your starch. It could be noodle, it could be rice, it could be pasta, it could be bread.
然后1/4呢是你的淀粉质可能是那个面条啊、面包啊、米饭啊。
And then only 1/4 is your protein, and the protein can be your chicken, your fish, or it could be your tofu, your beans.
然后1/4呢是你的这个蛋白质，就是说可以鸡啊、鱼啊，或者是你的豆腐啊、那个豆类啊都可以。
So you still can eat your noodle, no problem, right?
你还可以吃你的面条
You can eat your kway teow, your 河粉, but you make sure you have half the plate, half of it, 50%. Has to be vegetables.
所以要记住的最重要的元素呢，就是半个盘子呢，最少是最重要的是半个盘子有那个菜。
Whatever you eat, it has to come out, and you want to make sure it come out well. It doesn't stuck in your system.
所以你要记住呢，吃进去的东西要排出来，然后排出来也是很容易的排出来。
And make sure you drink lots of water.
还有呢，记住呢，我们要喝很多水。
Right, because water also help you to digest your food better and help you to bring down your blood pressure.
还有水呢，可以帮助你消化那个食物更好，也可以帮助你的血压会低一点。
Right. So water is key. No soda drink, no sugar drink, just water.
所以记住呢，只要喝水，不要喝那个汽水或者苏打水。
So here's one example of food. You can have your pasta or you can have rice. And you can see the other side, I show you even better. You can end with a dessert with a fruit instead of your apple pie or your chocolate cookie.
所以这里看到呢，一半是那个植物蔬菜，然后1/4是蛋白质，1/4是那个淀粉质。
Right, it's half vegetables, 1/4 protein, 1/4 your carbohydrate.
所以你看到一半是那个植物，1/4是那个碳水化合物。然后另外1/4是你的蛋白质，然后你可以再加一个水果。
Yeah, if you eat like this every day, I can almost guarantee your cholesterol will be very low because your food is so much fiber and so much vitamins, and your diabetes, your chances of getting diabetes is very very minimal.
所以呢，如果你这样吃你的那个这样吃那个你的那个餐的话，你的那个。得那个糖尿病那个高胆固醇那个几率很低，会很低的。
Now I know some of you heard about popular diet like I don't know what do you call it what do you call it? Keto diet. I know there are all kinds of names, right? They say cannot eat carbohydrate, right? Must only eat protein.
Yeah. 你们也听过很多不同那种减肥的那个 diet 其中一个叫 Keto Diet， 就基本上是吃那个蛋白质，不吃那个碳水化合物的。
Let me tell you, these are not scientific and not biblical at all.
这个呢，这一些那个什么那个 meal plan 叫什么说那个安排那个食物呢，其实完全不符合圣经说的。
It's not healthy because look, your body does not need a lot of protein. I will say it again and again and again. You only need 1/4, 25% only of your total diet. Only 25% should come from protein.
所以我再强调一下，就是说你的那个身体呢，基本上不需要很多蛋白质的，如果吃太多蛋白质的，反而有那个问题出来。
Now, keto diet, the reason keto diet, high protein diet can incur weight loss, but it's only initially, but not long term.
那个 keto diet 那个就是不吃那个碳水化合物，只吃那个蛋白质的。没错，它开始的时候你可以减磅减得很厉害。减肥减得很厉害，但是
长期对健康不好Long term is very bad for your health, very bad for your heart.
其实呢，长期就是对你健康非常不好，还有对你健康有害的。
Let me tell you also another fact. I had to be truthful. When you eat carbohydrate, it's very difficult to lose weight. It's true.
我跟你说一个事实当我们吃那个碳水化合物的时候，你要那个怎么减肥的话呢，是非常困难的。这个是真。
Initially, it's very hard because carbohydrate trap water a lot.
因为那个碳水化合物它会留着那个水分。
Yeah, it traps water, and remember fiber also trap water.
还有那个纤维素也是会那个留着水分的。
So your weight may not see changes because you're just as heavy or even heavier but because of water, not because of fat.
但是呢，你的重量没有消掉的话，不是因为你的那个脂肪，乃是那个水分留着那个水分。
So I must warn you because I have patients who start on this diet initially say, "Oh, Dr. Yan, how come my weight is not going down?" Because I explained to them because carbohydrate retain water. Don't worry, it's not fat, it's water. Very soon you'll see weight loss, but later.
我有一些病人就是这样，一开始的时候，为什么我们还没有体重还没有减轻呢？我就跟他说，你要耐心一点那个慢慢会就那个体重就会减下来的了。
Because the most important thing is your health, right? Not just your weight, correct? Your health is most important.
所以最重要的不是那个重量而是你的健康
So I got this one from Singapore. Singapore, they have a slogan. They call it quarter, half.
你这里呢，它有一个口号就是说一半然后就四分一一半。
Yeah, this is a slogan by the Singapore campaign. They say quarter, half means quarter protein, quarter carbohydrate, half what? Vegetables or fruits, okay?
他们说1/4是那个碳水化合物，1/4是那个蛋白质，然后呢一半就是那个蔬菜。
So the next time when you go to potluck, you tell your pastor and all the aunties at the back cooking, they say, I want quarter, half, okay?
所以你下次我们再有那个聚餐的时候，你就跟
Okay,
我们的美
Pastor,
丽
you
美
gotta
丽的
be
女士们
careful.
说，我们要1/4
So all your food that you spread on the table, you must make sure you have fruits and vegetables half and quarter protein, quarter carbohydrate. Okay?
所以我们下次聚餐的时候就是 quarter half，
You can have all protein and then no vegetables.
不能全都是吃那个蛋白质。
Yeah, it's not good for health. So remember, quarter half.
记住了哈，我们以后说那个1/4，1/4。
So if you don't want to be like this boy, don't eat this. Eat this only once in a while.
如果你不想像这个小孩子的话呢，你就记住不要吃太多那些东西了。
Yeah, this is highly processed. Not only you lose the fiber, you lose all the antioxidant and the vitamins.
这一些是非常经过很多加工的食物它那个损失了很多那个维生素和那个纤维素都损失很多。
No more vitamins, very little. So all you eat is just empty calories of carbohydrate, empty calories.
基本上都是没有营养的，没有维生素的，基本上都是那个空的那个卡路里热量哈。
Yep. So you want to be a happy child, right? You eat food that has lots of, remember, quarter half.
但是你要看这个小孩子很开心的一种呢，我们要吃那个健康的食物，就是 quarter half.
Yeah, you still can have your meat, whatever, right? But make sure it's only one quarter.
你还可以，如果你真的想吃肉的话，你还可以吃，但是呢就不要吃太多只是1/4而已。
So my daughter know, right? Because I trained her to eat like this since she was little. So she knows, mommy always eye on the food. Is it half? Is it one quarter? She knows. I look at it, I know, right? Because I can look at what is quarter half.
像我的女儿一样我从小就训练她，所以一看那个食物的时候，她也知道怎么 quarter half.
So I say you can go eat anything you want. You can go potluck everything, but make sure it's always quarter half.
她在跟她说，如果你吃什么东西都可以，但是你要记住那个比例quarter half.
Yeah. So remember, how do you eat? You have to eat in a way that you got to respect our body, because our body is so amazing.
所以我们吃食物的时候，我们要尊重我们的身体。
Yeah, you have to eat the way your body is designed. You cannot go against it.
你要吃食物的时候，你要按照我们的身体的设计去我们的这个饮食。
And the best way, the safest way to eat is make sure your food is plant-based. You don't have to be total vegetarian, it's fine, but it has to be plant-based.
所以呢，如果我们要确保我们自己的健康呢，你要记住呢，是那个基于植物的食物。
And the less processed, the better.
越小加工的越好。
Now, you don't have to eat salad. Don't worry. A lot of people say, oh, I have to eat salad. No, you can. You know, in fact, Chinese cooking is one of the healthiest because we stir fry our vegetables and we put a lot of garlics and onions. Just a very healthy, very full with vitamins.
如果你其实不需要每一次都是吃那个沙拉其实中国人的非常健康的，他们煮的菜都是煮的但是呢也不是很熟的，这个对吧
？Yeah, because remember Chinese, right? We all love onions and garlics, right? We put sometimes ginger. Those are very healthy, very full of antioxidant.
中国人呢很喜欢用那个蒜头大蒜葱姜那些东西，它都充满了很多那个抗氧化物
Don't be afraid to eat them. And if you want, you put some chicken inside or some tofu, stir up your vegetable with them. It's beautiful. This is a way to eat because that's how God wants us to eat.
所以你要炒一些豆腐什么，你可以放一些调味料那个蒜头大葱姜那些东西。
So remember, it's quarter half, okay?
所以大家记住了1/4，1/4。
很容易的。
非常
Anything you
简
want to
单。
eat, you just make sure your proportion is correct, your ratio is correct.
记住呢，那个比例要正确的。
So what is God's blueprint for diet?
所以上帝的蓝图，那个饮食的蓝图是怎么呢
Like I said, the next 7th session we're going to look at different blueprint, right? But today, I'm going to tell you the best way to plan your diet is quarter half.
所以呢，上帝那个蓝图呢，其实我们就会继续讲的。但今天讲的那个原则呢，就是那个 quarter half， 1/4，1/4。
Okay? And if you eat like this, like I said, I can almost promise you, you will not put on weight. Your cholesterol will be beautiful. Your blood glucose will be very, very beautiful, and even your blood pressure will be beautiful.
如果是按照这样这个吃法的，你的那个血糖血压血脂都会很漂亮的了。
Right. Any question?
有没有问题呢？
Yes, come. Yes.
You mentioned about how long a certain food takes to digest.
Uh-huh.
So, and some people say that you must eat vegetable first because it takes shorter for it to digest, to go through the tract.
Uh-huh.
The meat later, does it matter really?
Okay, I've heard this theory before, right? Did you hear her question? Yeah.
他的问题你没有听到呢？他的问题就是说你说那个消化不同的食物有不同的消化习惯，有一些人说先吃肉还是然后吃菜或者是什么，那个消化的时间不一样。
I say the theory remains a theory. It has no much evidence to show that way of eating is better than to eat everything together. There's no hard evidence for it.
其实
Okay?
呢没有很确切的证据去说明这个问题啊。
But the second reason, which is more important, I find that kind of style of eating is not practical.
还有呢，我发现这样吃东西那个进食的方法呢，不是很实际的。
So for Chinese, when we sit down and eat our noodle, how do we eat?
所以中国人在坐下来吃那个面条的话，他是怎么吃的？
You eat because everything is inside the noodle, right? You got vegetables, your chicken, your tofu. You eat it together. You don't separate it out and say, I'm going to eat my noodle like this, just noodle, and then I'm going to eat my chicken. You don't eat like that. You eat together, right?
其实中国人如果吃面条的话，都是什么一起吃的，就是菜啊、面条啊、肉啊，都是一起吃的，没有说分开来吃哈。
Right. So I find that it's not practical for most people. And second, like I say, I've heard about it, I read about it, but I don't think the evidence is there.
其实呢，我听说过，但是也看过，也想过，但是觉得那个也没有真正的那个证据去证明这个，也觉得那个不是很实际的。
Yeah. In fact, I've heard another one, Selena. Another one that I've heard is that you cannot eat fruits and vegetables together. You have to either eat fruits or either vegetables. I've heard that before.
另外我也听过呢，就是说那个不要把那个蔬菜跟水果一起吃。
Okay, that will work if you have irritable bowel syndrome.
这个情况呢，如果是有那个irritable bowel syndrome，这个肠胃那个刺激性的那个肠胃炎呢，
Some people are very sensitive. Their bowel movement, their GI tract is very sensitive. So for people who have irritable bowel syndrome, I would say, yeah, maybe separate the fruits and vegetables because too much fiber.
所以他说呢，如果是你有那个刺激性的胃炎的话呢，也许把那个蔬菜跟那个水果分开吃是好的。
Yeah, but for most people, we have the opposite problem. We are constipating. We are not able to digest our food. So I say, don't worry.
但是另外一方面呢，我们很多人都是那个有那个便秘的，所以这个东西呢，基本上就不用太关注哈。但是呢，怀师母说呢，应该把它分开吃的。
Yeah, I have actually. We can take offline. There's a lot of questions about that. Okay.
Okay.
So again, there's no hard evidence. It's up to you how you want to eat it. Depends on whether it's convenient for you.
所以呢，如果你要怎么吃呢，就大概都差不多。
But like I say, it has to be quarter, half. That's all.
但是
Okay.
那个比例呢，就是最主要的，我们要强调的就是那个1/4、1半。
Okay. Any question?
还有没有问题呢？
Yes. Ah. Okay.
Yeah, her
Good
question is about like the Cantonese. We love to drink soup together with our meals. So what about that?
Yeah, good questions. I would say from weight control point of view, 如果你是要减肥要注重你的体重的话I would say drink soup first.
OK， 那如果是从那个减肥的那个角度去看的话呢，我就说先喝汤哈。
Yeah, because once you drink soup, your brain will think that you're full because and so you eat less, which is not bad.
所以你如果那个先喝汤的话呢，你的脑子就会觉得那个已经吃饱了，所以你吃的更少一点。
So I say no preference. The only thing is some people they drink at the same time they eat.
有一
Right?
些人
They
就
eat
跟
and then they drink. Some people don't drink at all. They only drink after they eat.
有一些呢就一边喝水一边吃饭，但是有一些呢吃完饭以后再喝水。
So I would say not much of a difference. Up to you because I know some people when the food is too dry, it's very hard to swallow. They need some water to help them go down the throat. If that is you, go for it, right?
因为有些时候吃食物的时候，它那个食物比较干，要吞的时候呢比较困难，所以如果你要喝点水，然后去那个食物是可以的。
But I will not encourage you to drink too much water while you eat because then you cannot taste the food. Your water will fill up your stomach. You don't enjoy the food.
但是呢，我另外一方面呢，我就不建议去喝太多水吃食物有些时候喝太多水呢，你这个食物的那个味道呢就没有感觉到哈。
对，Yes. Yeah, I heard all kinds of things. I've heard this before. Okay,
让我先翻译好不好？
对。
他的问题就是说，有些时候我们的喝水吃完饭就喝水，到底是喝温水还是热水还是那个冷水呢？有些时候他们有人说就是说那个喝水的话会影响那个消化
I think it does not contribute to your health in terms of increasing your cholesterol or dropping your blood glucose. It's more for preference. However, lukewarm water is better for digestion for some people. So if you'd like that to be like that, go for it. For me, living in California, it's so hot, I like to drink ice water. But this is my preference. But it doesn't mean that you have to follow, okay? Yeah.
对于这个问题呢，最好是喝点温水，对那个消化有点帮助。但是呢，在加州非常热但我自己就喜欢这个喝冰水。
对
所以这个是你的自己的那个爱好而已啦。
对，但是跟你的胆固醇血压高没有关系的，因为这些是最重要的，对不对？因为我们大家都要关心我们的胆固醇、我们的血压高、我们的糖尿病，对不对？因为这些都是 chronic disease， 这些跟这些病都没有关系的，所以don't worry too much。
所以那个喝水不喝水，这个吃饭的时候，这个对于我们的胆固醇高血压都没有影响的，所以这个问题不是太重要。
对。Any other question? Yes. 哈哈。
因为我听他们说，第一口食物很重要，有些时候第一口食物吃了让你的血糖有点低下。有些食物就好像你吃菜，它血糖低，但有些第一口吃饭它很低。
No, because your body takes 4 to 6 hours to digest. Okay, what will spike your sugar is when you eat food that is highly processed, like your donut, your ice cream. That one you eat within a few minutes, your blood will your sugar will go up because it's highly processed. Remember, I told you the more processed, the easier your body absorbs the nutrient. So if you eat ice cream, for example. You eat ice cream, 20 minutes later, you go and check your blood sugar, I can guarantee you go up because this is what we call sugar spike.
OK， 让我翻译这个问题这位姐姐的问题呢，妹妹的问题应该说这个妹妹的问题呢，她说第一口的那个食物是不是很重要的？因为那个因为血糖会不高还是低吃什么东西？然后验的答案呢，就是说，如果看你吃的是什么东西，比如说你要吃一个糖圈。很快呢，你的血糖就会高的了，这个是非常重要的。
对，如果你吃 ice cream donut, I can guarantee 20 minutes your sugar will go up because it's highly processed. Your body absorbs so fast.
好。还有没有其他问题呢？
Very good question. 我们要去上班，不是上班，要去 worship 了。最后一个问题。
最后一个问题last question.
chew
那个那个食物要嚼多少下那个就是一个问题这个 How many times you chew your food?
If you eat non-processed food like nuts, like brown rice, you definitely have to chew more because it has a lot of fiber, right?
Yeah.
But if you eat noodle, it's so smooth, you don't chew as much. But all this again. The most important thing, whether at the end it will increase your blood sugar, you'll increase your cholesterol, there is no evidence to show that, okay?
OK， 所以说呢，如果是吃那些那个加工的食物呢，你咬那个咀嚼那个嚼的次数呢，可能不需要太多。但是你如果要吃那个硬壳果呢，可能要咬的比较多一点
But I'm going to say, chew is good because you eat less. Then you can really taste the food. Right? Which is why when you eat noodle, we tend to eat more because it's so smooth. We will overeat. But it's very hard to overeat nuts and beans because you got to chew so much.
所以你要咀嚼那个一个食物的话呢，越咬得多，你就吃的比较越慢所以也会不会吃太多比如说我们吃面条的话，我们吃的很快，因为那个很滑的，一吞下去了
So yes, I agree. We need to chew more so that we actually eat less and we can savor the food more.
Yeah. 我同意你要咀嚼多一点呢比较好一点
对，and exercise your jaw good.
其实他们还说呢，那个消化就从那个口腔开始的因为那口水里面也有那个消化酶去消化那个对。
enzyme. So it's good. Chewing is good, but it's very hard to chew. Eat noodle. It's very hard. All right. Okay.
还有没有问题呢
All right. I think yes. Last one.
She's asking for diabetic patients, how much carbohydrate can they eat?
Quarter, half. Remember?
记住呢1/4
1/4. Don't eat too much. Quarter. And if you eat half of vegetables and fruits, the fiber, remember I said the fiber will help you bring down your cholesterol, and a lot of diabetes patients also suffer high cholesterol. So it helps to bring down your cholesterol, and it also helps to bring down the sugar.
所以呢，你那个吃那个纤维素的时候，可以帮助你这个血糖降低，也可以帮助你的那个胆固醇降低的其实呢，我再补充一下行吗？其实呢，有几个那个研究报告其中一个研究报告他就看那个人吃那个蛋白质那个碳水化合物，光是碳水化合物，你吃完以后就是量那个血糖，它一直这样上去，对吧？会上去。但是呢，如果你吃肉跟那个碳水化合物一起吃的话，它会这样飙上去的。不知道为什么，但是他发现就是这样的。那个有一个文献是这样说。还有另外一个呢，就是那个如果你跟那个纤维素一起吃的话呢，你的血糖就会被拉得比较平一点。
对，So very good. Today I didn't have time to talk about it because I want to save that for my lecture on sugar.
不好意思。
Yeah, sugar. You go ahead of me. Yeah. But it's okay. It's true. When you come to my lecture on sugar, I'll talk about that because fiber is so wonderful. Today I don't have time to talk about how beautiful fiber is. One of the things that fiber did is exactly what he said. I actually did that with my students. Eat carbohydrate alone, plus eat carbohydrate with some form of fiber. Your blood sugar, when you eat carbohydrate with no fiber, your sugar is like this, sugar spike. But you eat carbohydrate with some fiber or some protein, your sugar level is like this. Very nice. So you have to make sure it's what? Half, quarter, half.
Quarter, half.
See? That's the answer. 很简单的，明白吗？我们要走了，快点，最后一个问题。OK。
他讲的是吃零食零食不要吃了，给我吃就可以了。
你在教我们吃零食。OK。好了，我们就到此了，看我们要准备了。谢谢大家，我们做一个祷告好吗？来，我们做一个祷告。
好，我们祷告。
来 ，Dear God, we thank you so much for reminding us that when you create us, you want us to be healthy and you want us to live long and healthy and happy. So we thank you for reminding us the blueprint for diet is actually very simple. We need to go back to the basic, to eat more plant and to really enjoy plant, to take time to enjoy whatever you have given to us in the plant kingdom. So God, we thank you for this opportunity. 亲爱的上帝，我们谢谢你今天下午提醒我们大家，就是说你给我们的那个蓝图，那个生活的要生活的健康的是很简单的，就是要我们多吃那些你给我们在那个植物里面的食物。我们谢谢你提醒我们，你要我们生活不单单要生活的长，也要活的健康跟快乐。我们谢谢主，你给我们今天下午的课程，但愿我们能够记得在我们的心里，但愿我们能够在不管我们吃跟喝，我们都能够荣耀你的名。我们将祷告是奉主耶稣的名 ，Amen。
Amen。谢谢大家。我有一个简单的要求因为我要请一些人去帮忙我下期的一个讲座我要请一些人帮忙有愿意参加的，请你签个名，把你的那个 把你的那个电话号码跟那个电邮帮我写一下，在上面那张纸上面我要基本上就顶多是10男10女10个童男10个童女。